The case itself has interesting features in that all long cases originally were black ebony miniature buildings. And then they went to exotic woods, similar in shape, but they were still miniature buildings. And the exotic woods then started to change, and they introduced this parquetry, which gives three-dimensional looking patterns. And then later on, they introduced marquetry as well. So this shows the progression from the plain case to the parquetry case to the marquetry case. And that to me is very interesting. So although this is an early clock, the pediment at the top of the normal architectural case has disappeared, but a very fine cornice round here, lovely carved walnut frieze, and these beautiful turned pillars where you've got left hand and right hand, and then the quarter has been sawn away and has then been put at the back of the clock. So you've got this wonderful wood on each side, the grain brought out into the framing. It's just quality. So you can see the parquetry in the corners, that it looks three-dimensional here, like a fan. And that's the objective of parquetry, is to make it these interesting shapes, which your eye and brain turn round into being 3 dimensions. And not quite so much three-dimensional in the cartwheel here. And of course, the actual marquetry is a picture. It makes no pretense of being in 3 dimensions. So here you've got the sight of the royal pendulum beating seconds rather than the short little bob pendulum which had been used a few years previously. So it's a unique selling feature to see the long pendulum ticking away seconds. Tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. Here you've got the lovely star in parquetry, where the dark ebony against light boxwood creates a 3-dimensional shape. And you can imagine this not just as a flat piece, but as 3 dimensions with the light shining on one side and the shadow on the other. And here's the marquetry picture, this lovely vase of flowers. The leaves are in copper sulphate, so they have survived in the beautiful spring color, whereas all the other flowers, which would have been bright yellows and pinks and reds and blues, they were in vegetable dyes. So unfortunately, over the years, they've faded away, just leaving the wood behind. And then in between, all the way around, you've got these wonderful oysters of olivewood cut across a branch to give the rings and the lovely shape, so that the panel has the walnut surrounds, and it's all cut cross grain here and here, and then the full panel has then been veneered with the wonderful oysters and the parquetry and marquetry designs. And right at the bottom here, we've got another parquetry panel in the middle of the oysters of the olivewood, and then a skirting has been put on round the bottom. I doubt if that was original, but that was probably added later.